so still on the class, I'm going to show you the next two right away, but quickly I'm just going to finish this. Now if you selected something like this and it's not closer to where you want to do it, you can just hold down the space button and drag it all around, so like this. And then, so let's say I want to correct this place, I'm just going to drag it and then Ctrl T, and it's going to bring up the transform. Hold down Shift and drag it up just like that, and that's all you need to do. Okay, so it's just working on the background. Don't worry, you're going to see how these things. So I'm going to quickly finish up everything and then I'll come back. All right, so now let's say we have something like this, and this is how we want it to look like. The next tool you're going to use is the mixer tool brush. So the mixer tool brush is under the brush tool. You just have to select it, mixer tool brush, and you take the settings above. The wet is always 9, the load is 75, the mix is 90, flow 100. Now the more you increase the wet, the more effect it will have. Mostly it's always on clean brush, and you can select this one, which is clean every stroke each time you use the brush. Means that once I use the brush, it's going to clean the brush again so that you can reuse it, instead of just keep using it and then it's going to, it increases the effect if I turn it off. So select that and select sample all layers. Please, I'm not going to explain that again, just in the next class, because I'm just going to take all these settings. Now the select all sample layer, I'll tell you when to turn it on, but for now in retouching I don't think they turn it on. Wet 9, your wet can be between 9 to 14, and then this one is clean. If I over it, you're going to see what is going to write. I guess it's turned off for the moment, so just turn it on and then select it like this. Now the way to use this tool is to blend colors together. It's very, very useful when using it on skin tones or on the skin. Okay, so I'm going to smoothen the background with it. So let's take, for instance, we have this line and we want to remove it. All you just need to do is to left click after taking all the settings, and in fact I can increase it to somewhere like let's say 14 to make the effect faster. So make sure you rasterize the layer. So I'm just going to quickly do it. So but for the skin, if I'm working with skin, I like leaving it at 9. So let's take it up to 30, and let's see how the effect is going to be very fast. So you can see how fast it is instead of all that. So you don't be scared to use it, just make sure you know what you are doing when you are using these tools, this tool. So just quickly, I'm just going to do it, and you can see how useful the tool is. Now you can see the difference in color between year and year. So I'm going to tell you how to do that. Let's just quickly finish this, and that's that. And if you want to remove this line, you are free to do so. I'm going to make it bigger now because I want to blend a very large area. So just like this, and quickly blend it. Let's say you don't want the effect to be too pronounced. You are going to decrease the brush size instead. So I'm just going to remove all this dirt in the background. It's actually very useful. So let's go ahead and decrease it to somewhere like 9. I like using 9, and then I can blend. So take a big area. If you want to blend the colors together, you can just do it like that, and do this easily. So I'm not going to talk about this tool again. Please, just whichever tool I'm explaining now, I'm taking my time to explain it later, so that when I talk about when I'm using it, you can actually go along using it. A lot of people ask about which tool is that, how do you get, what is the value of that tool. Please, this is just the value, and I'm just showing you how to use it. So this is a very rough one. Now for this little space, the tool you have to use for this little space is still this one, which is this clone stamp tool. Now the clone stamp tool works like this. You hold down Alt to sample an area. So let's say I want to paste the head of this lady here. I'm just going to make the brush bigger and hold down Alt, sample her head and take it somewhere and paste it. So just like that, that's how it works. So Ctrl Z. So if I want to remove this one, let me quickly sample this place. If I want to remove this little place, now notice if I click on it, it's going to affect the hand. You can see, but it's correcting that place, but it's affecting the hand. Ctrl Z 3 times to bring it back. So what are we going to do so it won't affect the hand or affect an area? Okay, already we know what this tool does, and this tool I'm still going to use it when retouching skin, okay, because it's actually used in removing blemishes and textures. But let's say I want to remove something like this. I'm going to use this LASSO tool. So I'm on the third tool now. I talked about the marker tool, now the mixer tool brush, and now I talked about the clone stamp tool, okay, and now I'm talking about the LASSO tool. Okay, so that's the fourth tool. Now the LASSO tool create boundary. I use it in creating boundary a lot. So let's create a boundary like this. Let's say for instance, okay, so if you want to select more, you can hold down Shift. It's going to change to plus sign. If I remove the Shift, it's going to change like this. So hold down Shift. I'm going to select this little side, select it. I'm going to add this side as well. So it's used for harding. If you want to add, if you hold down Alt, it's going to remove. Let's say I want to remove this little place, so I'm just going to circle and remove. It's going to remove it. Okay, so now once you get that place selected, you're going to go back to your clone stamp tool and you're going to hold down Alt to select the outer part, and you click. Notice I click from outside inwards, outside inwards, outside inwards. Okay, don't do it like this. It's going to sample this side. Okay, so Ctrl Z. Now once you do that, you can select other places if you want. So I guess everything has been selected. I'm going to leave the ground like this. You can do that on your own. Okay, so Ctrl D to deselect that area. Okay, so let's still leave the selection first of all, and now you can take your brush, your mixer tool brush, and blend that colors together. Notice it's just going to blend only that place. Now if you take it from inside a hand outside, it's going to create this effect. You can see the hand. So Ctrl Z. So once you are brushing, you brush from outside inwards towards the boundary where you don't want it to get to. So like this, brush in, remove, brush in, brush in, brush in, brush in, and you can do all this place like this if you want. Now it's just going to affect only that place. No matter where I brush, nothing is going to happen because I'm not brushing inside the boundary. So Ctrl D to deselect that. So those are the tools you are to use. Now again, as recap, I'm just going to select the rectangular marker to take it downwards. Like let's take it downwards like this, and hold down Ctrl T, bring up the transform, hold down Shift, drag it out, and something like this. Okay, so once you have that, click OK. Now let's say I want to remove this tone. Okay, you can still do the same, just bring it down. Now this is going to be the next tool I'm talking about, which is the 6th tool. Now I'm just going to take it, hold down space, and shift it towards our leg a little bit. Okay, so something like this, and drag it out. Now I'm going to click on the patch tool. This is the patch tool. The patch tool is used to, I'm just going to drag it towards where I want it to look like. You can hold down Shift to make it straight. See, even though I drag the mouse up, it's just going to be straight. So you can take it straight the first movement. So I'm just going to leave it like this, and boom, that is it. But sometimes you have all this, you know, challenge. So same thing, grab the LASSO tool and just draw a line. it will be very difficult if you are using a mouse. So but I'm using a mouse right now, but if you know how to use a mouse, you can. So you can take your clone stamp tool. Let's use the clone stamp tool first of all, make it bigger, grab an area and then paint and paint, and then grab your mixer brush and then make it bigger and then drag it inside, down, inside, down, inside, down, inside. Okay, so Ctrl D to deselect. So now we have that look. Okay, so we can just quickly blend everything. Remember, I'm just doing this in a rush so as to cover up the way you are to use this tool. So once you have that, you can now start cleaning up the background as well. All right, so that's for using this tool. Now let's take, for instance, you can see this stretch effect which was caused by the background. So you can just grab this tool and then drag like this. After you do that, you take your clone stamp tool and you're going to grab some textures from this side, hold and Alt, and you can just quickly maneuver your space like that. You can take from this place as well. So the whole idea is to make everything look different. Or you do it like this, Ctrl Z, 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 Z. Let's quickly clean it. So to make it realistic, I'm just going to duplicate the layer, Ctrl D to deselect. Let's create a new empty layer and then select that side, the boundary. You get now, sorry, let's select again. I'm going to select that side again like this. Now once I select that, I'm going to grab the clone stamp tool, and now this sample, you are going to select sample, current and below. So it's going to sample this two layer, and now you can sample this side, hold and Alt and then paste on it. You can hold and Alt maybe somewhere here and paste on it. You are just getting some samples, sample there and then okay. So once you do it like this, you can now Ctrl D to deselect and decrease the opacity, and it's just going to make it look realistic a little bit. So that's just what I want to show you, so before and then after, and you can decrease it the more like that. All right, so those are the tools you are going to come across, and just for the retouching part of the background and the rest too. So don't get me wrong, this is not just only for the background, it's for also the face and body. You can use it on the face and body, so we're going to be using it later on the face and on the body. So I'm just showing you how this tool operates, so it will be very easy for you to follow up when I'm doing that. Okay, so can give you a result from this. You can see it's almost looking alike. This, then you now start working with color grading and the rest. Okay, so let's move on.